It's OVA the creator.
So hi everybody, I'm here again. It's Callie. So I'm here with another video on another car series, as you can tell, because I'm sat here in my car. And today I'll be doing a review on my BMW 1 Series, the hatchback, and just telling you a bit about how I've been getting on with the car and what I think of it, and just giving you a review on the car itself. The first question: when did I get the car? My car. I got my car last June actually. Last June, so 2017 summer, the beginning of summer, and I've had it for almost a year and a half now, I would say. Since, more than a year and a half, but yeah. Got my car last June. Like I said before in my previous video, it was second hand. So I got it actually from a dealer's up in Peterborough. So I'd like to speak a bit about how my car's been performing since I've gotten it. It's been overall really good actually. It's been really, oh, the sun's coming out. This is really bad. No, we don't want this. Oh no, I don't want to do it. Okay. Hopefully the sun goes back down soon. But how's my car been performing? Any major issues or breakdowns? Sorry if you see me looking down. I do have notes because there are specific things I did want to cover in the video. But it's been overall really good actually. Reliable. Haven't had any major faults at the moment, touch wood. Hopefully not, thank God. It's a bit, when I first got the car I thought it had quite a high biting point because I don't know why that was, but it was really hard to find a biting point, and I guess not having any driving experience before and going to a car which had such a high biting point was a bit of a challenge. But I mean, you just get used to the car itself. Apart from the high biting point as well, I think that might be because with the high biting point, I think that's actually because the car is quite heavy. Like, even when you're driving it, it's quite a heavy car. Like, I found it quite hard to even put the handbrake up and stuff. It's quite heavy, I would say. It's a 2 litre. I don't know if that's got to do with anything, but I mean, it's quite a heavy car. BMWs are made to be, quite heavy-handed, I think. German whip and all that. But yeah, it's been good. Apart from that, I've gotten used to the heavy handling system and having to apply a bit more force, and now it's pretty good, I would say. Performance wise, it's all been really good. It's like apart from the couple of times it's still quite a bit when I first started driving, it's been pretty good. The parking sensors I really love. That's probably my best feature about this car. I know almost every car nowadays has parking sensors, but I do not take it for granted now that they've actually gone out. I'll go into that a bit more later, but driving with parking sensors has really helped me, like with parking and everything like that. And I do feel if you can get a car with parking sensors, please do. Like, don't even feel like, oh, you're somewhat less of a good driver if you have parking sensors. They're really helpful and they're there for a reason to be used. So now that mine have actually gone out, I haven't had the time to replace them, and I do literally feel the absence of not having parking sensors and feel the effects of them. So I'd like to touch a bit on the maintenance of the car and MOT insurance and all of that. I think I mentioned a bit in my previous video on the car series. Oh, the sun's out again. Okay, we're gonna pause, wait for the sun to go down. I think it's going down. As I was saying, the maintenance of the car, I would say, is quite, it's been good to me. I mean, I've only had it for a year and a bit, but apart from the standard stuff you have to pay for, like MOT insurance, my MOT is like, I think £50 every 6 months. So yeah, insurance, probably about, my first insurance was probably 1.8k, around that much. It dropped a bit, so second year, or from this year, I've paid like 1.4-ish. I don't know if this is, but to be honest, don't take my figures as a ballpark for anything, because it varies a lot on, where you live and experience and all of that. So that's just what I was paying. In terms of maintaining the car, like costs for fixing things and everything. Like I said, my parking sensors went out back in summer. Last summer. Wait, what, in 2018? Did I get my car in 2017? I got my car in 2017 summer. My parking sensors went out. What year are we in? Have I had my car for 2 years or 1 year? had it for 1 year. My parking sensors went out June 2017. June. That does not make any sense. I lie. I got my car 2016 summer. This 2017 summer that just went, my parking sensors went out, and I've been meaning to get them fixed for a long while, but I just haven't had the time to really. And because I don't really drive to work, I barely drive my car, so I mean, I didn't really want to put the money down just to fix it. I don't think it's too expensive, probably like less than 200, I hope. But I mean, that's one of the major things that I would have to fix. My my braking sensors also went out. Braking sensors also went out a while ago, so I had to get that fixed because that's one thing about the car, because it's all electrical. When one thing goes off, it really does, I find it tends to interfere with other things because it's all electrical and it's all like computer based and everything like that. So when my parking sensors went out, it actually caused my car to start acting funny. Like, I kept getting all these signals on the dashboard and it wasn't detecting things correctly. So that was quite dangerous in the fact that my car just done something really weird right now. Why am I making this video? But that was quite worrying in the fact that with the wrong signals being sent, it can trigger like incorrect messages to the car, and it could tell it to do something when it's not meant to be doing something. So I got my braking sensors fixed. Yeah, that was maybe around £50 with myself providing the part. Yeah, and then the other big thing that I probably should look more into is the diesel, they call it the DPF, diesel particulate filter, in diesel cars. So as you're driving, all diesel cars have a filter in them. As you're driving, the filter eventually becomes clogged, and the only way to clear out the filter is to do like high speeds and to kind of burn out the soot from the filter, soot being carbon. But because I barely drive, and like I'm a city girl, I'm based in the city, I only drive short distances most of the time, so it's not good for diesel cars in the fact that you don't allow the engine enough time to regenerate and reach those high temperatures needed to burn off the soot from the filter. Son, me and you are fighting today because I don't know why you want to keep coming in my video. Yeah, I'm just gonna video with the sun because I just can't wait anymore. But with the diesel particulate filter, that again, if it keeps coming up on your dashboard, which was coming up for me, it just causes like mixed messages for the car. And when the dashboard is doing hickey haggar, the whole car wants to be performing in a way it shouldn't be. So I didn't actually get that sorted out because it was only the yellow light, and as they say, the yellow light is the yellow light is just a warning, but you should look into it. So I didn't, just because it was really expensive to fix. But yeah, I feel like it stopped coming up now ever since I fixed my braking sensors. So I feel like it might not actually be a problem. It might be because I had other problems which was triggering incorrect signals and whatnot. But all in all, that DPF problem is a problem with most cars that are diesels, because every diesel car has a filter. Unless you take out the filter itself, which you shouldn't do, your filter eventually, it becomes clogged. You can't avoid that. That's the whole point of a filter. It's your job to actually help it regenerate and clear out by driving long distances and high speeds and low gears and whatnot. But yeah, they were the main issues I had with the car in terms of maintenance and everything. But all is good now. It's performing okay. And from my last video, I actually need to really touch on this. Someone actually reached out to me and mentioned about a BMW engine disease thing, about how the engine fails completely and the car switches off and it's unable to be, it's unable for you to use ultimately. It's quite sad because we had the same car make, same car exactly, and I was trying to figure out how this happened and everything like that. Like, it's never happened to me, thank God. But yeah, eventually they had to they're not able to drive their car again. which is quite sad. But it's not the first time I'm actually hearing this from BMW cars. Both of my brothers have BMW cars, and both of them have had engine problems. One has eventually gotten rid of their car, not gotten rid of, but they sold it, yeah, and got another car which isn't a BMW. And the other still has the same BMW car, but they had to get it fixed. And usually when it comes to big engine faults like that, when it comes to big engine faults like that, it costs a lot to get it fixed, and it usually requires you having to go to the main BMW dealerships, because it's really, you know, technical, and only the manufacturers can actually look at this problem, because they are the ones who built the car. It's not that you can take it to a random garage and they fix it, works for like 30 minutes and then you leave them and it happens again. So be aware that with expensive cars, or not even expensive cars, but with big brands, comes big costs, because they know how to patent this stuff in a legitimate way. So yeah, so be aware, like with BMWs, there's this kind of engine disease thing, and it's really big on Google. Like a lot of people tend to have this issue. The final question being, would I repurchase my car? Would I get another BMW? Will I get the same BMW? Yes and no, or no and yes, whichever way it is. I wouldn't get the same car, just because why would you get the same car? But I would get another BMW. Yes, I would, because it's a really nice car. It's really sturdy. It matches, I would think it matches my style a bit, you know. I like them, good stuff. But yeah, I would get another BMW. It's been good to me. My car's been good to me, thank God. Everything's been okay. I mean, nothing unexpected. It's provided its use. And in the upcoming future, when I do look at getting another car, I do think I will consider BMWs, because they're okay. So yeah, there you go. There's my review for the BMW 1 Series hatchback. Any other questions about the car, about, you know, first time drivers, tips and whatnot, because I know people have been asking for like tips for first time drivers and everything. If you would like a video on that, just gonna hold it for the rest. But if you would like a video on that, let me know, and do like and subscribe. Thanks. I'll see you next time.